I'm sitting here looking at my laptop where I've taken some of the screen recordings. I call them best moments from the live stream. And in the next many minutes, I'm going to look at them, have some coffee that I have ready here, which is really nice. Just top it up with some hot. And what I've done is basically I have taken the live stream, recorded the screen, some of the best moments mentioned in the chat, and then I have edited that together, just taking the best parts or some behavior or sightings that I find really interesting and places where I have some questions for all of you. And then we are just going, nothing fancy, just me sitting here with my microphone, my headphones on, so you don't hear like double up from this video itself and from my microphone. So I can sit here and just have a look at what's going on. Sometimes I'm just going to let it run, and other times I'm going to comment on something. But regardless, yeah, as I said, nothing fancy, because if I have to put up two cameras and cross jump between that or cross cut between that, it's going to be too difficult, and then I just know that I'm not going to make these videos. So let's just dive into the live stream here. I hope you have some coffee or tea ready or something else, because it's going to be a little marathon, this one, but let's just dive into it and see what's going on. So this is, you can always see the clock, you're used to that, but it's midday, and look behind the tree. There's a little fox coming, and it's so nice, but it's also kind of sometimes a little torture if you're a wildlife photographer, because you sit home and you think morning and evenings, that is, your experiences tell you that is definitely best moments to actually be out looking for the animals. And then suddenly you look at the live stream and someone write a cute fox cub at 12:26, and then you go and think, oh, you must be kidding me. But then it's there, like in beautiful shade. You see there are some harsh lights around, but if I was there with my camera and look at the fox, look how it can smell some of the cat pellets we put in the tree. Look at that. And it's so curious. It's looking at the camera, or it's not used to it. And then, whoop, look at that. Oh, imagine, click, click, click with the camera. That would be awesome. But you're too small, little fellow. You can't get up there. Yeah. Now sniffing in the grass. Not really confident. Oh, he can still smell it. Oh, look, it's such a little beauty. He's starting to look like a real fox. And then he's out on his own adventure. Oh, something is scratching. Now he's out on his first adventure, some of the first adventures far from the den. And I have been looking around in the forest and I haven't been able to find any active dens actually. So, yeah. But look, he's just... it's so nice, these small foxes. I want to photograph it, but I just can't sit down there for like a week in a row. There are also so many things on the farm. You probably saw my last video where I'm making these raised garden beds and putting things up for the animals and stuff like that. There are many things to do, but look at him or her, I can't see what it is. So curious and so aware, just like a grown-up fox. Sitting down on the tail. Look how the whole, like the fur and stuff is just so beautiful. And you remember how anxious we were, I think that's the name, or like scared we were when we had that mink coming in this winter. Oh, it was awful. But look at this new life, a beautiful little fox. But you see, he is aware of the camera, the house, something is spooking him, but he will definitely get used to it, or she. We will probably, if not someone has already figured it out, we will figure it out. Yeah, and there off we go. Yeah, that was the first one, the nice little fox. So let's move on to the next clip I've selected. It is this one. Oh, having such a nice shower in the morning light, 8 o'clock in the morning. Oh, and I just simply love the voice of these ones. And look at that, the jay. The bird thought it could have like a little nice private shower there, and then this fellow comes and start to eat. And the jays I really like, first of all because they are birds that I haven't photographed until lately, because I haven't been so much in blind as I am now, and like basically one of the only ways to get a lot of photo of them and their behavior is to actually put up a blind. But look, little bird coming back. Doesn't want to shower there anymore, but there is a solution for that. Try to listen. I think it's coming soon. There it is. Now it's just having a shower another place. And look at this little fellow here. It's coming always when I start to do talking to the camera. This guy comes and he wants attention, because it's always like that. So let's move on to night mode. Almost 4 o'clock in the morning. Look at the eyes next to the tree. Så Bjørn, gå ind og læg dig. Ind og put dig. It must be the same fox sneaking around. And again, what I find really interesting about the live stream is, like you can say, we put out snacks which is not supernatural, but the animals are getting used to that, and they come there and they do their normal behavior. Look, drinking. And then you get this glimpse of nature, like as if you are not a human, that would scare them with your scent and stuff, but if you are just like a little eye in nature, eye on the wall, and that's what I find so amazing. I learn a lot about the behavior of the animals by looking at things like this. Now, sneaking away. And let's move to the next one. Evening. A little before 10 o'clock in the evening. 2 batches are coming in. And there are a few things I want to talk about here. I've done a little fast forwarding in the editing because I don't want to just cut it and skip something. I like to see the movements, how they actually move, and how they are very systematic. Look at this. We're going fast forwarding. Look how they just very, and this is speeded up 2,000 times. Look how systematic they are. There's just not a single peanuts left when they're done. Dig. And now, let's just see. Now we got it a little closer, and look the little one in the back. Now it suddenly hurries up because maybe the other one has found something that it really would like to. I'd like to have a bite as well. And sniffing around, it's awesome. One of the things I like to ask you about, because some of you have definitely looked many more hours on the live stream than I have myself, and I think that would be very nice to know for a lot of people, is like, how do you actually, how do you actually identify the individuals? Because if I take a random person to the forest and we look at badgers, and they say, how can you see the difference? Because they all look the same. And I know it's of course some of the a little of the patterns, or it could be the rounded ears or something like that. But I would really like any of you who have figured out a way and you can clearly see, oh, that is this one and that is that one. Like, if you could write in the comment to the video, like, just take your time to do it. The longer the message, the better, or the longer the answer, the better. The more detailed, the better, because that will help a lot of people getting more joy, rather than someone saying, oh, that is Bodo coming there. It's much more fun for people to see, oh yeah, I could see that because of, you know, something with the ears, for instance. So how can you see the difference between the badgers on the live stream when you're watching? That will be very interesting to get that feedback. And also, so we, rather than just observing and enjoying, we can also communicate, and we can teach other people, and we can we can teach other people a little about how they can see it's not just a badger, it's that badger, it's not just a fox, it's that fox. But yeah, look at that. I just really, it's not because this clip is like very special, and it's not always going to be that with the best moments. And I decided not to make the first video with the very best clips we have all together. I think I want a little more routine, so I know, should I be talking, should I not be talking, what should I do? And then at that time we can take the one with all the best clips that we have from the live stream started. So okay, so now let's just do a quick fast forwarding to an episode that I really like. Look, sometimes it's just too much of hard work to stand up and eat. Then you have to sit down and eat and search for food, and then you have to scratch yourself from all the creatures that are in your fur. But yeah, let's go back to normal speed and let's see what happens here. So look up to the left. Look at that. Badger is coming in. And I find this much more interesting than having the animals like super close, because the badgers, their eyesight is really bad. They can only see things that are very close to them, and it's just generally not that good. Their hearing is so and so, but their sense of smell is amazing. It's 600 to 700 better than our sense of smell, and it's just incredible. So imagine it's a pitch dark black night and they hear something coming. They maybe see the black and white contrast, it's another badger, and they will go and see, who is that? Is it a friend or an enemy? Look, he's not completely sure yet. Oi. and then it runs. Oh, I say he all the time. It's just a habit I have with animals. But of course there are also she's. But now everything is fine. They are good friends. And one of the way they identify each other is actually because they have like a scent gland underneath the tail, or subcaudal gland. I don't know how to pronounce it. And they use that scent actually to mark their territory, but also to mark each other. So that's something I would really like to see and record in the live stream, is when they sometimes put the butt to another badger and like mark it with their scent, so that all the badgers from the same set have the same smell, and that is how they can identify each other. And it's a longer story, but depending on the amount of testosterone the male has, and how what stage the woman, if she's pregnant, no, not a woman, but the female, if she's pregnant or not, there will be a different scent, so that the other badgers in the family, in the set, can smell that. I find that very interesting. So now, after they figure out that they could all be friends, they can just continue searching for the food. And look at that. So look at that one. Listen. It's begging. Probably begging for a little sip of milk, a little snack from the mom. And it's trying to get underneath her, but she's not in that mood. Look what happens here. You hear that sound? I've heard that a lot on the little protected island, Vorsø. It's like a begging sound. So yeah, very interesting behavior. So nice to see. Let's fast forward again. To here, and it's just because one of the little one, look at the little one in the back to the right, and then listen. I thought, who's coming? But look. It's sneezing, the little fellow. It's so nice. And yeah, oh, I love these small creatures. What's also interesting with the badger is they have delayed implantation. That means that they can mate all summer, autumn, but then they won't have the cubs until next spring, February, March. And we are fast forwarding again. Like usually badgers, they have 2 to 3 cubs, but they can have up to 5. And now we're back again. They have registered badgers that are to 14 years old, but in nature, as far as I can read, they rarely get older than about 7 years or 2 or 3 years, because they get driven over by cars. Night mode with a little spider. As usual, bullying the camera, and just look at the little beauty there. So let's move on to a little before 11 in the evening, and I just took this clip here because I like to see these behavior, like eating, drinking, and look how concentrated it is and how it uses its paws and the nose and just sniffing. And when I see this, there's no wonder that there's always a lot of soil in the water, and I don't know where it comes from, but this is apparently it. Yum 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 yum. Eating. It's just beautiful, quiet night scene. Nice with the badger up close. It's a good clip to train, and some of these of you who are, you can use maybe this clip as an example, like who is this badger and how can you see it's that badger, and then people can rewind to this point, and you can do that throughout this little video. Point out a time code, and then you can say try to look at this, look at the ears, look at the stripe, look at the the pattern of the black and white, like how long they are, whatever you want to say, and like how you do it. And then you can, people who's not familiar with that can go back to this specific moment and actually basically have a look, a closer look, and see, oh yeah, and then they can try it in day mode and in night mode, and get good at actually recognizing the different individuals. Look at all the mosquitoes. They would definitely like me to come there. They could bite me. So I love jays a lot. They are so clever. My friend and colleague Susie wrote a book about not only jays but also ravens, crows, magpies, and the cognitive capacity of these birds. And they are incredibly good to not only work together but to learn. And look how many there are. Like, wow, when I saw this clip I was just like, holy smoke, there's so many of them. And what's interesting about the jays is the fact that they are actually storing their food. They are, sometimes you see them, they sit there and eat, and then everything is good, but you'll often see them just coming in, picking a lot of the corns or the nuts with a full beak. They fly away, and then they store them around in the forest. Look at the jay here as something it really wants. It's hard for the eyes to look at the screen. So, look at that. What is going on? Look at all these jays. None of them are really eating. All are looking at something. I wonder what... and they're looking down there, but... yeah. Apparently something is a little dangerous. It is not comfortable to sit on that roof. It's very pointy. Yeah, and then they store the things around in the forest, and at some point they can't really figure out if they remember where the things are. Probably not, but I don't know if it's by coincidence or how they find it, but they find some of the nuts and things they put, and other things they don't find. And that's actually also one of the ways that seeds are spread around in the forest. So let's jump back to night mode. 1:30 in the evening, and badgers are coming in from the left, and they are definitely about to make troubles. Just hold out and wait and see. Scratching. They probably come directly from the den. No, they don't do that at 1:30. Usually, when I've been observing badgers here, where it's populated, there are people, they come out around 9 o'clock. But places like Vorsø, the protected island, where there are no humans or mountain bikes or runners or anything like that, no hunters. They actually come out already after 6 o'clock in the evening, so they are much earlier out, and that is nice. But look at this. So back to normal speed, and look like how they just dig out all the soil underneath the log, but it doesn't stop there. Look at this one. Oh, I don't know why, but I just love to see them drinking. Probably because it's not something I've ever seen when I've been looking at them, like out there with my live eyes. So now this one was basically just because I like to see the activity, like all over the place they are searching for the food. But there's a great moment I'm going to show you just in a second. Let's just have a look. Look at that. Look at that. A little fast forwarding and then time to refill the coffee. This is cozy. I love having coffee, watching the live stream in the evening. So now, let's get to the next little thing I've selected. Because I think that's it's a little bit fun. Because like they are a little curious, and there's so much things going on, and sometimes when I'm watching them, you know, you think, oh, they're just doing the same, they're just walking around eating, but then suddenly you get rewarded. Like, look at this one. Like, he's probably tired of the nuts and the seeds, so he probably wants some fresh worms. Look look now. Scraping. Okay. And it doesn't stop there. And now he just go crazy. Try to listen. He wants the worms in the rotten tree. Look how strong it is. And these the claws and the paws are so strong. He's basically like tearing the log apart. Did you hear that? I'm just freezing the frame. Did you hear that sound? Try to listen. So many interesting sounds. Okay. And then let's go a little fast again, because this little fellow is definitely a troublemaker. I don't know if it's a male or female, but it's definitely a troublemaker. Now, okay, so look at the face of the little one right now. I just stopped the frame. Look, you can almost see, I don't know if in my imagination, but I can see that he's a troublemaker. And now it goes. And the adult is just like, oh, I have to give up on that one. It's just Morten's camera. He's so close to the live camera to like get it out of the way, and that's the reason why I have an extra one lying over here in my office, because but it's not the camera, it's just around, because otherwise it would be, you have seen that when he like didn't get it out of position. Yeah, amazing badgers. So now he probably got enough of being naughty, so let's jump to the next scene, one of the last ones. Yeah, this one is just nice. It's a little long and I'll not speak that much here, just enjoy, because it's so beautiful. A little before 10 in the morning, and look at the birds, the behavior. Look at them. It's this. Look to the right. The birds flew up, and then look to the right, underneath the tree. It's eating of the bushes. It's I know they are very common, the deer, but isn't it just beautiful? And just wait and see. I can almost see the live stream when I'm looking out from my window, if it wasn't for the trees. It's far away, but still. If I had a binocular, I could see it. Because you have seen my farm on the video, the last video, the last two videos, the vlog videos. And here I have a good view. Nature all over. Look at that beauty. Oh, she's so beautiful. Look at the color. And just for an information, the roe deer, they don't eat grass like the the stags. What are they called? Deer. I don't know if they're just called deer. No. Sometimes the English names, they kind of disappear. No, but the stag and the female of them, I think it's just called deer, probably not. They eat grass, but the roe deer, they eat only herbs and leaves, and that is the difference between them, like what they eat. Oy. And then I also really enjoy the sounds, so peaceful. If you haven't done already, you should try to, now it's not the best time, but yeah, it is actually good, because April, May, especially May, June is impossible because there are too many birds. But a very good way of learning the different songs from the different birds, the different species, is to start in the very early spring, like February. Because you'll only hear like blackbird, wren, few other little birds, and then you can get familiar with them, and then the other birds, when they start to sing, you will have one at a time, and then in May it gets impossible if you are new to that. But I find the live stream is also really good for learning these kind of things, because you can sit there and then you can ask people in the chat. But yeah, I know it's a long clip of the deer. I just really like it. And I love when there's no wind, because then the image quality of the live stream is much better. YouTube compress the image quite a lot, So the actual image coming out from the live stream that I can see when I log in to the control panel is the same on a day like this, and that is why I love it so much. But then on a windy day, you often see the little leaves around the tree and the grass. It's getting all blurry, and that's simply because of the compression from YouTube. And that's kind of a shame, but there's just nothing to do about it. But I love the calm days, mornings, evenings, days like this, where you can just count the straws of grass, and yeah, it's amazing, so peaceful. Recently I have opened up, the cows are down there next to the live stream now, and that is because I've made some new fences that are much better for the wildlife. It took me a lot of time this spring, so that now, rather than being a lot of small like fences, it's one big fence, and then rather than keeping the animals away from different areas, I have basically taken small parts like the live stream and made a fence, almost not around, but so they can't get there, but they can get all the rest. But it just took a lot of work because I need to hammer in a lot of poles, put up the line, and get the power to there. But now it's perfect. The forest is now free from the cows, because I suspect that there are like badger or foxes up there, the babies, and I don't want the cows to just faff around and destroy the dens because they're so heavy, and the soil here is very sandy. So the forest is like free from the cows, but then the rest, the cows can walk, and then I can decide where they go and where they don't go. So by doing that, we will have some of the reeds. There will be a lot of reeds because it's very, very swampy, and with the cows the reeds will be eaten, and there will be much more room for different like greater biodiversity in the plants, which also again attracts more birds, more insects, and in the end like what we call the food chain. If there are more insects, there'll be more birds. If there are more birds, that thing. I can't say if there'll be more birds, there'll be more foxes. It's not like that, but I think you get the point. But now, yeah, let's just enjoy the last little bit of the deer. And she'll walk into the forest again, and then just the last little bits here. Back to the night mode. It's not all about badgers and foxes and roe deer. Look at this little fellow here, the mouse. How awesome is that to see a mouse in the night, jumping around, so elegant little fellow. Yeah. Back to this guy, and this is a clip where I'll just say nothing. It's the second last clip. We have one more, but then this is basically, I have gained the volume a little bit. It's basically just so you can hear all these sounds they make when they eat. So yeah, I'll drink some coffee and we can listen to the badger. Listen to it. Yum, yum, yum. It's so energetic, it's so busy. Yeah, enough of food eating sounds. Let's get to the last clip. This is just... look at the birds again, look at their behavior. It's always a good indicator of something. Whoop, off they went. But why? I use that a lot when I'm out with my camera. I listen to the birds and look at the birds. Look at this. Oh, look at the color. Oh. That was the last clip for this time. I know we didn't have like all the good clips, but I kind of just wanted to get started with the best moment videos. And then I have also a few questions that I wrote down here. Yeah. Like, I try to give a little info about something I know or something I read. If there's anything that I might get wrong or any additional information you have about some of the things we see here, like I talk about the J, how the store things, I would love to have that in the comments so that we can all learn something from it. And also I would like to hear, like now I have made this best moments where I'm sitting and commenting on what we see. It's not always going to be like that, because sometimes I simply don't have the time and I'll just put together some nice clips, and sometimes they will be maybe 6 minutes long, sometimes they might be an hour if there's a lot to talk about or a lot of clips. Sometimes there will not be one, sometimes there will be one every week, sometimes there will be one every month. It all depends on what time I have available to do this, because as you know, I also have other jobs with photography, and sometimes I make a video for my photography channel. But another thing I like to ask is if you can already now say it's really annoying that you are sitting there talking all the time. We would much rather just have the have the best moments running without you commenting, without your little face in the corner. Like, I can say 100% sure I do not get offended unless you write something really, really bad. But it would just be really nice to hear your honest opinion. Like, should I do comments on the video like I did on this one with a little bit of knowledge, or should I basically just cut these clips together without me talking, so you just have the clips there and you can enjoy them? I would like to hear that in the comments as well. But let's end this video, and I think Axel, I'll go down and put some snacks out now, and then yeah, see you in the next one.